Today is Election Day 2020. People from all over the country will be out voting today. Many tens of millions have already cast their vote, primarily because of COVID. But the right to vote should be considered a responsibility, even a stewardship that we have. People throughout history have not really had the right to vote. Kingships are passed down from generation to generation until someone is either overthrown from within or a new country comes and dominates them, conquers the land from without. People throughout history have not had any real chance to decide who would lead them. Now, the idea of elections goes back to about 500 BC in Greece, but even today, there are many nations that do not have meaningful elections. The United States of America, on the other hand, was designed with democratic ideals in mind. Now, technically, we are a democratic republic. Realistically, it is not. We cannot fathom having a true democracy where everybody would have to vote on every single matter. But our country has its own sordid history with voting. Initially, the votes of blacks, and I should say black males, counted for 3/5 of a person. How dehumanizing must that be? Women could not vote at all, which again is another dehumanizing prospect. Now, however, any U.S. citizen can vote, and each person's votes are counted equally. As citizens, we have an enormous privilege to choose who would govern us and even how we are governed. We often vote for amendments and such that become laws. But for the Christian, the idea of citizenship is twofold. For we are not just citizens of a country, we are citizens of heaven. We see this dichotomy of citizenship clearly in Paul, who said that he was a citizen of Rome, and you can see this in Acts 16:37 and also a reference in 22:38, Acts 22:38. And that privilege of being a Roman citizen actually guaranteed him some rights. They granted him some rights. For instance, Acts chapter 22, verses 25 through 27, it says that it kept him from being flogged. But it was his heavenly citizenship to which he appealed for issues of character and faith. And we find this statement about his heavenly citizenship and about for those who have faith in Christ, heavenly citizenship in Philippians 3:20. As a citizen of heaven, we too have certain inalienable rights endowed to us by a Creator that extend far beyond anything we can imagine as a citizen of America or elsewhere. But here's the challenge for citizens. Citizens often want rights without responsibility. This is true for citizens of a country, and it is true for people who claim to be citizens of heaven. As citizens in America, we have the right to vote, but we also have the responsibility to support our country after all of the votes are counted, regardless of the result of that vote, assuming the vote is legal. However, as citizens of heaven, we only have one vote. And the votes are not tallied together. My vote, your vote, anyone's vote is simply one vote. It is the fullness of that vote. It is a personal vote to allow Jesus to be Lord or not to be Lord. Realize Jesus is Lord. He is King. And therefore, just like kings of the past, just like kings today, he is not subject to our interpretation. He is not subject to our laws. He is not subject to our desires or even our collective votes. He is sovereign. And therefore, we are to abide by His laws and His ways, regardless of how we might feel. The people of history understand this idea better than we do because most watching this video will have grown up in a democracy, that democracy being the United States. But unlike so many earthly rulers of the past, our God and King Jesus is a gracious ruler. Yes, He is demanding, but He is loving. And that is why He died for us, to make a way for us and to give us a chance to cast that single vote for Him to be the ruler of our lives. With that vote does come a responsibility to let Him govern you. But on this election day, I assure you that no vote that you can make, and it's a vote you have to make each day, will be more meaningful than the vote to vote for Jesus. So as an American citizen, go vote for president. Go vote for a congressman. Go vote for the amendments or whatever happens to be on your particular ballot. Your vote may be one of many cast today, but it is every vote that counts. But every day, not just this election day. Don't forget to cast your vote for Jesus. And then find your hope in Him.